Hi everyone. So I know I normally talk about mortgages, but today it's going to be a little bit different. I've got the lovely Jess who's come on with me, and she's going to be talking about what she does. So, Jess, if you'd like to introduce yourself and explain what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Jess. I'm the owner of J Cavaree Interiors. Basically, I'm an interior designer based in Hertfordshire. I have covered outside Hertfordshire, so moving towards London a bit more, but most of my work's done St Albans, Harpenden, places like that.
Wonderful. So I know, like I was saying to you earlier before we started recording, when we first bought this property, it was the best that we could afford. I mean, for us, we wanted to be in the right catchment area for the kids. So we bought, and I say this to a lot of first-time buyers, don't look for the perfect place, look for the right location for you, and then you can buy a property and then you can work on it yourself. So it'd be interesting to know what kind of advice that you'd give to sort of first-time buyers when they've sort of bought a property. It doesn't have to be a new build, it could be any property really, and what they could do to sort of work on the interior.
Yeah, no. So my biggest thing is plan, plan, plan. So don't just jump straight in, really sit yourself down, look at each, firstly, decide what your design style is. So by understanding that, you're able to then work out each room. Yeah, sit down, plan it all out, look at colors, textures, everything like that. Like even like you need to really work on lighting as well, because lighting can completely change a room. Like you were saying, with new builds, if we moved into a new build, a lot of the houses are completely like open plan, aren't they? So understanding how to create zones within that space as well. So, and they don't have to be massively priced big changes. Like we don't need to get an architect in and completely change the downstairs. Like start thinking about, say, if you had like a dining room and a kitchen together, how can you break them two zones up? So just using a rug underneath the dining table can really take that area away from your kitchen. And then lighting wise, you could tone down the kitchen, brighten up the dining room, or you can even create a bit more of a moody scene in the dining room if you're sitting down having dinner and things like that. So really sit down and have a think about the space that you want to create. So what moods you want to create in that space, like because you wouldn't want the same kind of mood in a, I don't know, like in a living room than in a kitchen, because you've got a, obviously you're creating in a kitchen, so you want to see everything that's out there, making sure there's no shadows and things like that. But then in the living room you want to wind down, have a nice glass of wine at the end of the day maybe. So yeah, so really understand which each area that you want to do have
Okay.
basically.
No, that's great. No, thanks for that. That's really interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, it really is good to sort of make it a home and have those zones. So, I
Yeah.
mean, how do you find if, like, for example, a lot of people are working from home now. So
Yeah.
if they want, have you got any sort of tips for if they want to transform the room, like during the day to be have one function and like in the evening to have another?
Yeah, so actually, we just did a project. We just got approved for it yesterday. And basically, what it was, we created this like floor to ceiling cupboard, and it wasn't that deep because the dining room's not as big as we everyone would like a dining room to be. So we had to create an office space in that area, as well as it being able to be closed away at the end of the day, and them have their dinner and stuff in the evening. So what we've done is we've created this big floor to ceiling cupboard where you can basically pull out trays and you can have your like the TV's not TV, the computer screens mounted on the wall, and then you've got your keyboard there and everything. So you've got everything with you. So again, like I said with zoning, that's how we've got to start creating spaces within that big space so that you know what section's which. Another great example is your oh, what they called, it's completely gone, but the thing behind you,
Oh,
you
the
can use that.
screen.
Yeah, screen, that's the word. You can do something like that to completely break up the space as well. So having your office space and then, I don't know, your living room, dining room, and so on.
Okay, no, that's great. Thanks, Jess. And if someone wanted to work with you, what would be the process?
Yeah, so what we do is we begin by having a meeting like this, understand if we're the right people for you and if you're the right people for us. And then once we go through that stage, we then go on to the design stage. And that's probably the best stage because you're going to start visualizing this space that's all up here onto your screen. And also we can give our professional advice, seeing if that's going to be right in that space, or maybe seeing if we could take you in another direction, and seeing if that was maybe something a bit more like the project that I was just telling you about. They were so modern. They thought that the modern scene was like their kind of design style, but we've actually gone for a bit more of like a traditional kind of look. And they didn't even know that that's what they loved until we went through the process of understanding their design styles straight from the beginning. But that's such an important stage, is really understanding what you love, because what you think you love is so different to what you actually might love. I mean, you could still love what you think you love, but yeah, it understand your design stage before we go through. And then we'll go on to like the other bits. So once it's all signed off, approved, then we can start getting all the builders in, and start the whole project, which is fun.
I know that that sounds exciting. It's nice that you're actually creating something from, you know, from nothing, or
Yeah.
changing it completely, and then you get to see what you've done. No, that's wonderful. I think we've,
Sorry,
sorry,
I was
you go.
we also do like mood boards and stuff. So you're starting to feel as well like the fabrics that we're bringing in, and like you're looking at it and you're like you can really feel the mood that's being created. So like say if we're doing a living room, we have like soft textures and things like that. You can actually feel like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like really cozy, and I'm going to really enjoy sitting in here at the evening with a book or something like that, or family time with the kids. And yeah, it's really good to start seeing. And especially the best bit is the like how the client just goes, and like Joe, when their face just completely brightens. That's always nice to see as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, for me, the thing, and I say this to first-time buyers all the time, you don't have to buy somewhere that's already done up. You can
Mhm.
do it, and you can do it in stages as well. Like the house that we've got here, you know, when we first moved in, we didn't do anything straight away, and then we did downstairs, and then we did, you know, the next floor, and then we went into the loft and did that as well. So there are, you know, you can do it piecemeal, can't you?
Completely. Really take your time, because the worst thing is doing something, spending so much money and then completely regretting it. So 100% plan, plan, plan before you even go to the shop and look at some paint. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's great. Well, thanks. I think that's sort of covered everything, unless there's anything that you can think of.
I will like I'll mention a bit of the new build side of things. So,
Yeah.
uh, obviously, when you go into a new build and you buy one, it says like don't paint and things like that for 6 to 12 weeks. Unless you don't mind filling in the gaps after. If you're going to go for wallpaper and things like that, I suggest like completely wait until the building's settled and dried and everything. But if you do want to start painting, then look for like breathable paints. They can be like something quite good that if you want a quick fix, basically. But again, open plans. Remember to zone. Get some big, nice rugs in there, and lighting. Don't forget lighting. It's very important.
Okay, thanks, Jess. Thanks so much for your time, and thanks for coming on the channel today. And everybody, if you please like to sort of subscribe and share, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you.